Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I would tell you about the space race. It was a race of the might to explore the universe between the two biggest superpowers of the world, the United States and the Soviet Union. They've emerged as the most powerful nations just after the Second World War, and so there was a quest between the both countries to prove their technological might and a race to explore the universe. So let's start. This space race was a 20th century competition between two Cold War adversaries, the Soviet Union USSR or Union of Soviet Socialist Russia and the United States of America to achieve superior in spaceflight capability. The space race brought in pioneer launches of artificial satellites, robotic probes to moons, Venus, Mars, and human space flights in low Earth orbit, and ultimately to the moon. The competition began on earnest of August 2, 1955, when the Soviet Union responded to the US announcement 4 days earlier to intend to launch artificial satellites for the International Geophysical Year by declaring they would also launch a satellite in the near future. This marked the beginning of the space race, and it was a major announcement because it shaped the world's technology in the space. Main motive. Now let's see what was the main motive behind the space race. The main motive behind the start of the space race was the emergence of the Soviet Union and the United States as the leading superpowers in the Eastern and Western worlds respectively after the Second World War as spoken earlier. So there was a struggle for power between the both nations. Initially, the rockets were mainly developed as missiles, but it was only after a decade later that they were segregated out as a separate space program. It was because uh, they were not keen to do more research on space. Rather, they wanted to develop more capable missiles so that they can put on and crack down on their enemy as far and as large destruction they can create. So this was mainly started as a missile program. The major programs both undertaken by both powers were in the United States of America, Mercury, Gemini, Apollo and space shuttle programs were initiated, whereas in Soviet Union, Sputnik program, Voskhod, Vostok, Salyut and Soyuz programs were initiated. Main events. Now we will see what were the main events, what were the main major earth shaking programs that really caught the eye of the world. Sputnik 1. Sputnik was the first artificial satellite of the earth launched by Soviet Union. This generated a Soviet Sputnik shockwave in the world since, and this was also a reason of the terror in the Western world because no country so far had such capability in that time which can deploy a satellite into the space, and moreover this proved that Russia in near future can attack any country with these nuclear missiles and create a lot of destruction in each part of United States. 1958. In response, the US launched its first satellite, Explorer 1. Vostok 1. Vostok 1 was the first human space flight mission in the history of mankind, launched by Soviet Union. Yuri Gagarin was the first human in space aboard Vostok 1 orbiter. He approximately stayed for 98 minutes in the capsule and he then splashed down to the Earth. The Vostok 1 rocket was the first human spaceflight demonstration and proved the capability that Russia could now send its top military officials to the space for their safety in case of any very dangerous situation. Vostok 6. After the success of Vostok 1 and other similar Vostok programs, Vostok 6 was mainly launched as a sixth Soviet crewed mission which launched Valentina Tereshkova abroad in space. With this success, Valentina became first woman in space. Voskhod 2, 1965. Voskhod 2 was a Soviet crewed mission which carried two crew members in space. Uh, it was because the Vostok program was mainly started to send only one person to the moon, sorry, to the space. So this program, a new program was started so that it can send two or more crew members into the space at a time. One of the members of the mission, Alexei Leonov, became the first human to conduct a spacewalk. Apollo 11. You must have heard about this mission, the most fantastic missions of the human history. It was launched in 1967 with the US's most powerful rocket till date, the Saturn V, and Apollo 11 was an American crewed mission which landed humans on the moon. So you can see, though the Soviet Union made initial success by launching a man and a woman to the space, the US directly landed a person to the space on the moon. With this, the US won the space race as expected, and the Neil Armstrong became the first human to land on the moon. There was also the plans of Soviet Union to land the humans on the moon through its N-1 rocket. The N-1 program was started by the Soviet Union but did not succeed since its largest fuel tank in the first stage exploded each time. Total 4 launches took place, but none of the launches were a success. All the time the rocket exploded, and after the 4 missions, the project was cancelled. So the US is the only country which has landed the humans on the moon till date. Even ISRO, CNSA, and ESA are not capable to send the humans on moon. Venera 7. It was launched on 1970. This was the first spacecraft to explore the Venus by soft landing on its surface. This was launched by Soviet Union, and it became the first probe to soft land on another planet and first to transmit data from there to the Earth. It was also important since there were very harsh climatic conditions on Venus, so it was not possible for them to get a good transmission of data from there, but the USSR proved its space capability there too. Viking 1. It was launched in 1977. It was the first of the two spacecrafts along with Viking 2, each consisting of an orbiter and lander, sent to Mars as a part of NASA's Viking program. The orbiter used to orbit the Mars taking photographs, and the lander landed on the surface to gather the soil samples and study them. This was launched by NASA. The Hubble Space Telescope. It is the most ambitious and the most expensive telescope ever developed into the space and has the longest survival time in the history. It was launched in 1990 by the US Space Shuttle Discovery in the low Earth orbit and remains in operation still today. It is also a very important tool since the telescopes on the ground cannot gather much data and their pictures are not very clear because of Earth's changing atmosphere. That's why you need a tool that can penetrate through the weather and you can give you a good amount of data and precise calculations. And this was the work of Hubble Space Telescope, and it has made marvelous space discoveries since its launch. Now, it, towards the end of this video, let's see what's the conclusion. So we can say that both the nations started the space race, but not for the sense of technological development. They started and competed because of their national pride and the quest of power, but it soon led to the era of space technology and research, which both benefited the nations along with the world, because the world too was keen about the developments both running in the east and the west. The other countries like India and China, though joined the space club late, but they also did a fantastic discoveries. Though the US won the space race by landing Neil Armstrong on the moon, the Soviet Union also played a very important role in space technology development, since more the missions were launched by mainly Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union was mainly responsible for the initial successes of the space. So that's for today, guys. If you like this video, then subscribe to my channel, The World of Space Science, and press the bell icon to receive further updates from this channel. In the next video, I will tell you about the parallel universe and answer a few questions about whether it is a theoretical concept, can it be true, is there any scientific evidence or not, and we will see a scientific approach towards it. So thank you very much and namaste.